Hello Leo, and welcome to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. If you're returning, please welcome back. We don't like to waste time around here, so we'll get right into it. Guides, guardians, and spirit, please offer me what our Leos need to see as a collective, what they need to hear right now as a collective. Please offer 3 cards for their person, 3 cards for them, and 3 cards moving forward. May the true sight be in me. May the true speech be mine. May everything that I speak come straight from the divine. All right, we're having another. Ooh, this is going to be another hard one for you guys, Leo. I know the last one felt like a really hard one. Yeah. Okay. So straight out the gate, we get the 7 of Swords, we get the Hermit card, and we get the Justice card. Now, what this tells me is that your person may not be particularly honest right now. With the 7 of Swords, this is a bit of deception, sneakiness. The Hermit is here and the Justice card is here. The Hermit is here when people isolate, when people pull away, and that isolating and pulling away does feel like it's connected to whatever it is that they're hiding. And it's almost like because you ask a lot of questions, because you are... Oh, you've been through this before. I just heard some of you Leos have been through this before, and it is not, I'm not getting any of the indicators for me that are like, ooh, this person's cheating, or oh, it's not that. The deception does feel like it's around things that they want to hide. And that has to do with the Justice card is here, and that has to do with sort of legal issues, paperwork, documentation. This can also be your person having a run-in with the law, and that's what I feel that they're trying to hide. They may have been court-ordered to do something, and it feels like they're just trying to hide anything that would have you saying, I told you so, or that you need to do this or that, or to have any kind of judgment around their actions right now. Their actions feel very unhealthy. And that doesn't even have anything to do with your connection. It's not even that their actions are not healthy for the connection. It feels like their actions are unhealthy in general. Now the Wheel is here, which tells me that your energy is shifting here. The Wheel is here, the 7 of Wands is here, and the 9 of Wands is here. The 7 of Wands tends to talk about defensiveness, and that's because it feels like you're asking a lot of questions, or you're asking for some clarification when it comes to your person. And it feels like the answers that they're giving you, it's almost like they're lying. So when that's the case, you ask more questions, and then more questions, and then more questions, and then more questions. And it appears that you're interrogating them, but really you're trying to have them be honest and open and get past the lie. For you, with the 9 of Spears here, though you're not telling them that you have one more fight in you, or that you'd be willing to work on this with them, or that you'd be willing to walk through fire with them, literally, you would be willing to do whatever it takes to sort of help them through this situation, because it doesn't feel like it's cheating. It feels like it's something else. And you'd be willing to stand beside them if they weren't deceptive about it. But they're deceptive because they're embarrassed. And because I feel that you have talked to them about whatever situation that they are in. It feels like it's almost like you warned them about it, and now they don't want to hear "I told you so." So instead of hearing "I told you so," they're backing off or distancing themselves from you. Now this Page of Swords is here. This Two of Stones is here, the Star card, and then the Nine of Swords. Now, the page is usually an indicator of communication. It also tells me that your person is watching you. They may be watching you on social media and waiting for the right time to connect with you. But this is also a card of communication via some kind of like texting, maybe some kind of app or social media. It's usually in like a written text versus like getting a phone call from them. The Two of Stones, excuse me, it's late, it's almost midnight. The Two of Stones is here. Now the Two of Stones, that's usually a card of juggling, and if there are other cards around that indicate that it's juggling of many people versus many things, this is just telling me that this person is going to tell you that they have a lot on their plate. And that is true, because I do feel like they have this legal issue coming up and they're not really willing to talk with you about it and to express to you basically that you were right. The Star card is here. The Star card usually is an indicator of like someone coming up on top, someone being famous, someone sort of like being bright and shiny. But in this deck, my Star card is usually kind of like things that are hidden come to the light, or the dirt that you do at night comes to the light because of the way that this card shows for me. With the Nine of Swords, it tells me that until this is kind of going to be a surprise for you, and until it really comes forward, the surprise is that they tell you, because you already know that it's happening, because it's kind of like like I said, you warned them, you told them this thing was going to happen, especially when it comes to this sort of legal situation. And the shock is that they are actually telling you versus trying to keep it hidden. Now, let's get some clarifiers. So the Nine of Swords is here for your person. And in this case, oh dear. Okay. So listen, you guys, I'm kind of like focused in on you all because your clarifier cards are the cards that I already laid down. Page of Swords, Page of Swords. Like, I don't make this crap up. Nine of Swords, Nine of Swords. So here's what this is telling me. The Nine of Swords, in this deck, it's more of a shock and surprise. In this deck, it's kind of like being kept up at night about this lie because they're mulling it over and over again because they know that it's going to be a fight. And the Five of Wands, I told you, that's the reason why they're pulling away. They don't want to fight with you and basically hear "I told you so." They also are really trying to conserve their energy for the fight that they have coming ahead. Again, with these pages on top of each other, this is an indicator of being watched via social media, and also there's that communication happening. You aren't really, that's interesting. You aren't really pressed. In the past, you may have kind of like exploded on this person or expected them to act in a certain way and really had been upset about them not acting in that way. I don't, with the Temperance card here and the Knight of Cups and the Queen of Wands, I don't see you as pressed by what they're doing. It irritates you, but it's not going to change your affection for them or your emotion for them. You are very balanced, and you're not really willing to offer them a cup of love until they come in with some honesty. But you still want this with this person, despite them acting like a doof. They are your 10 of Cups. You can't really see your life without them, and they do kind of check all the boxes for you. The King of Swords is here, so you are one, they do come in, you are going to communicate the kind of boundaries that you desire for this person. It's like where you are normally passionate and maybe non-committal, when they come in and they're honest, you're kind of like, well, I'll commit, but here are my terms and stipulations kind of thing. The Queen of Pentacles is here, and it tells me that they cannot come to you with any kind of half-assed, especially financially, offer. The outcome, or sort of like the ending here, is this Four of Cups, which tells me that you are gonna be moving very slow with this person. It's almost like, oh, you're not gonna give me the offer I want? I'll wait. That does create a shift in them, but recognize that you are forcing the wait, and that's okay. We're going to end your reading with 2 cards from the Sufi deck. Trust your gut feelings. Let your heart lead you to who you are and life's purpose. Seek your own deeper vision of life. Those do not feel totally in conjunction with this situation with your person. Those feel like very personal cards versus advising you on how to deal with this situation. This is more like, yeah, they're going to spiral out and come forward when they're ready. These are the things that you should be doing for yourself in the interim, which is A, letting your gut guide you. And that's really about the whole I'll wait. Like, you cannot come in with this offer that isn't genuine or real, because I know my value and I know what I'm worth. The life's purpose card is more about you seeking that energy in the interim, because that is only going to give you more power behind the I'll wait energy. See, it's one thing if you're like, I'll wait, but you don't have your crap together, or they can tell that you're bluffing. But when you're in a position of power and you say, I'll wait, like, it's very clear that you're unwilling to accept anything less than what you deserve. And then your person won't call your bluff. They're not going to make you wait. They're going to get it together and come forward, because it does look like this person feels the same way about you. You're their 10 of Cups just as much as they are your 10 of Cups. Now, some of you may be dealing with some really harsh connections based on the last reading that I gave for Leos, which was dealing with addiction. Your person was dealing with addiction. If this is the continuance of that story, just be clear that There is probably going to be a significant amount of therapy. There's going to be, potentially rehab, things like that. And this may be the start of that process for your person if this is like the legal issues that we're seeing. However, nobody says, oh, you have to wait for this person just because you love them or they check all your boxes or whatever the case may be. We also have to use discernment with our situations. As this is a general read, it's like I can't pinpoint each and every person's circumstance, but also trust your gut, use your discernment. Okay. Thank you for stopping by my channel, Leos. I'm gonna end out your reading. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Good night.